We are officially on the road to WrestleMania as Raw took place tonight in Philadelphia, Pennsylvania. And it was a show that definitely gave us a lot of clues as to where they're going for the WrestleMania card. A lot of it I don't really like, to be honest. I'm not that excited about, but at least it's not as bad as last year, I'll say that. So the show started off with a cold open of Braun Breaker going berserk at ringside. He destroys the announce booth. Division tried to restrain him. Paul Heyman gets on the mic and blames Adam Pearce. Then Adam comes out with security. He tries to blame Austin Theory as to who attacked Braun. After that, LA Knight comes out from behind and he attacks Division with the chair. This is after Braun Breaker went up the ramp to confront Adam Pearce. Then once everything's under control, we get a Royal Rumble recap. Then we see Liv Morgan arriving, and right when I saw Liv, I thought, oh my god, wow. We also get to see Stephanie Vaquer arrive, and oh my god again. Javon Evans came out next, then the Americanos came out. We get Javon Evans against El Grande Americano. This is, of course, the Ludwig Kaiser version. The Chad Gable Americano comes out, and he distracts Kaiser, costing him the match. Javon Evans gets the win here. The Usos made their stupid Yeet entrance. I'll be honest, I was watching on delay so I can skip it. That's how much I don't like Jay right now after what happened at the Royal Rumble after that disaster. After the break, though, they were gone, thankfully. Hopefully Jimmy's okay, though. Hopefully everything with him and Naomi is alright. AJ Styles' music hits, but it's really Gunther doing his entrance to get maximum heat. Fans chant fuck you at Gunther. He's now the career killer. That's what they're branding him as. Dragon Lee came out and attacked him, and he was actually getting the upper hand on Gunther. He threw him into the ring post, but then Gunther hit him in the head with the ring bell. Then he puts a sleeper hold on him. The security tries to get him to let go, but then he puts it on again, and he does it in a way where he almost hangs him from the ropes. It was actually a really good visual as he just allows Dragon Lee's lifeless body to fall to the floor. And to be honest, it's not creative because they did the exact same thing with Gunther after he retired John Cena, with R-Truth defending Cena's honor. Here it's Dragon Lee defending JJ's honor, his former tag team partner who he was the tag team champion with. Backstage, Paul Heyman confronts Adam Pearce. He wants Braun versus LA Knight to be booked tonight. Then instead, Pearce says no, and I think he kicks Braun Breaker out of the arena. Then he makes Bronson Reed against Penta. War Raiders are out next. And then we go backstage. Braun Breaker leaves the arena. And I thought, alright, he's coming back out for sure tonight. No, that was last we saw of him. Obafemi comes out and just squashes the War Raiders like jobbers. It wasn't even really a match. He just came out and destroyed them. All I thought was, alright, War Raiders contracts are up. I'm sure they're going to go join Tommaso Ciampa very soon. That's all I can make out of this. We get a Finn Balor video package. He feels disrespected. We see the Bellichins walking backstage. Of course, they're from Philadelphia, so it's kind of a homecoming from them. Then after the break, the Bellichins were out. And we hear Nikki's theme song at first. Then we're subjected to Brie mode in the year 2026. Oh, God. They want to go after the Women's Tag Team Championships, and they probably will. I assume they're going to challenge Rhea Ripley and Io Sky at WrestleMania. Maybe they'll add a couple more teams, like maybe Alexa Bliss and Charlotte. Maybe another team, maybe. I don't know. But I am not looking forward to that. And my interest in the Women's Tag Team title match at WrestleMania instantly fell. I'm not that into it now. Alpha Academy were talking to some comedian. I think his name's Brett Kreischer backstage. Maxine Dupree appears. She cuts a promo on Natty, and she will face her next week. Penta was out next. And I wanted to mention this. I like how the WrestleMania sign glows with a blue light. It illuminates the Vegas skyline and the logo, which actually looks really nice. I still prefer last year's logo better with the gold and the cards. I thought that actually looked better, but this actually made it look better. I was not a huge fan of the WrestleMania logo, but I do like the sign and the LED parts of it. It actually does look pretty good. And it's a much bigger sign than the one they used at the Rumble. The Rumble, it seemed like they were just using a small sign. But it actually looked pretty good. So we get Penta and Bronson Reed. The whole story is the Vision were out there and they were getting interfered. Everyone knows that. But what happens is Penta got some backup as LA Knight came out, and as Vision were distracted, what he did was a lot of the Vision were taken out. He hit the BFT onto Bronson Reed onto a chair on the outside. He couldn't make the count, so Penta wins by countout. Then we got a Stephanie Vaquer video package on her feud with Raquel Rodriguez. They show us Lincoln Financial Field. This is the venue that hosted WrestleMania 40. And this show, by the way, was taking place in the Xfinity Mobile Arena. Dominic Mysterio made his return to Raw. He introduces Liv Morgan as the 2026 Women's Royal Rumble winner. She jumps in his arms. She got some "you deserve it" chants. She talks about her opponent. She says she'll go to SmackDown on Friday. After what she did tonight, it doesn't really make sense for her to go to SmackDown. I don't think anyone thinks we're going to get Jade Cargill against Liv Morgan, so it's pretty obvious her opponent's going to be the Raw champion. Then she introduces Raquel Rodriguez, who of course was going to challenge Stephanie Vaquer for the women's title. Then Raquel actually brought up Liv eliminating her at the Rumble. Raquel tells Liv to stay in the back for her match. Then Stephanie Vaquer comes out to new theme music that sucks. It's awful. Her old theme music was one of the few really good themes in WWE. This new theme is so generic, it sucks, and it's another abomination from Def Rebel, I assume. Def Rebel sucks. I'd rather have CFOs any day over Def Rebel. I think they're split, but I'll take them any day of the week over those losers at Def Rebel. Those guys suck. It's a horrible theme song. And it sucks, you know. She had one of the best ones. Now it's so generic. And I think it's going to make her lose some of her star power. I think it's going to hurt her more than... It might not hurt her too much because she already is over, but I think this new theme song... The old theme song was a kick-ass theme song with a great guitar riff and really good bass, and I liked it a lot. This one sucks. So after the break, they show us the Vegas Strip to promote SmackDown and Raw combo tickets. It's going to be at the T-Mobile. SmackDown before Mania, and then the Raw after Mania. Of course, we're going to see a lot of the Vegas Strip in these next couple months. Then we have Alicia Taylor doing the ring introductions, and we get our Women's World Championship match defended in a Philadelphia street fight. Stephanie Vaquer defends her title against Raquel Rodriguez, and the match started off. There was a lot of weapons used, as you would expect. A table was brought out by Stephanie. Raquel powerbombed Stephanie through the table. A chair, a trash can, a kendo stick were all brought out. Stephanie used the kendo stick. Raquel uses a trash can. Then Stephanie hits the devil's kiss on the chair, and then she goes outside the ring, and she hits it again onto Raquel onto steel steps. Raquel brought out another table, and there were some commercial breaks here, so I missed some of it. I got commercials at least. Then Liv comes back, and you assume after Raquel brought in another table that, you know, this is how she's gonna mess up the match for Raquel. Raquel tells her not to come out. Liv comes out anyway. She hands Raquel the belt. Raquel hesitates, and that's when Stephanie drives Raquel into the corner where a steel chair was set up. And Roxanne Perez runs out, and right when this happened, I thought, oh, maybe they're going to do it. Roxanne's coming out. Maybe they're going to do a title change. And this is when Stephanie and Raquel are on the top rope, and there's a table set up in the ring and outside the ring, so Stephanie knocks Roxanne off the apron, and she sends her through a table on the outside. So Roxanne took a table bump. And then it looks like Raquel, she can hit the Tejana bomb onto Stephanie through the table, but no, Stephanie counters. She hits a Hurricanrana onto Raquel, and she doesn't go through the table. It's a really, really bad botch. Basically, the table was too close to them, so Raquel couldn't land on her back, and she practically had to put her hands up so she doesn't go head first through the table. And it didn't break. It just made a kind of a crack or a dent into it, and it did not look good at all. Eventually afterwards, Stephanie hits the corkscrew splash from the top to win the match and retain her belt. I thought Raquel messed up a lot here, and this was not a very good match. And as I said, Stephanie's new theme music is awful. After the match, Liv Morgan hits Oblivion to Stephanie Vaquer. Then she poses with her belt over Stephanie's fallen body, and we see the WrestleMania sign in the background. So I think it's pretty obvious it's that match because they're not going to do Liv Morgan and Jade Cargill. I assume Jade's going to WrestleMania. She'll face someone else, and Liv will most likely face Stephanie Becker. They had an NXT Origins video package on Finn Balor. Then they promoted the NXT show, which is going to be the 7-way ladder match tomorrow night. Winner's the NXT champion. They promote next week's Raw show in Cleveland. Then they show us Roman Reigns arriving backstage. We follow him through Gorilla as he makes his entrance, and he's cheered heavily in the place that booed him out of the building in 2015 when he won his first Royal Rumble. He mentions that actually, and it was so bad. It was so bad that Rumble. It got The Rock booed. The Rock was booed when he assisted Roman Reigns after I think it was Kane and the Big Show attacked him after the Rumble. Rock made the save, and it was like Vince McMahon thought, all right, they might boo Roman because they don't like him, but once we have The Rock out there, they'll forget about it and they'll cheer. No, they booed The Rock. That was such a disaster, and that's really the beginning of how Roman Reigns was rejected as a babyface because the fans booed him for 5 years straight after that. It was such a disaster. It really wasn't until the Tribal Chief and the heel turn in 2020 during COVID. Then, of course, the rest is history, and we know where he is now. He lost his championship there. He brought that up 2 years ago in Philly. He lost the belt to Cody Rhodes. And then CM Punk interrupted him. He called Roman a visitor on his show. They took turns burying Drew, which I did not understand. I don't think they're getting Roman and Drew at all. And when they were doing this, I was thinking, I'm not sure if this is the match. Remember they teased us last year with Cody and Punk? I think it was before the Rumble last year. And we didn't get that. I thought, I think this is a misdirection. I'm not sure we're getting this. By the end of the segment, yeah, we're definitely getting this. Punk brought up the Shield, bringing them in. Roman Reigns brought up the infamous podcast he did with Colt Cabana when he buried the company. And Roman tells CM Punk he's picking him because he hates him. So that's the match. I think it's basically confirmed now. Roman Reigns versus CM Punk at WrestleMania 42 for the World Heavyweight Championship. That's how Raw ended. Looks like we got at least one of our main events for the 2 nights. And as I said, the road to WrestleMania has officially begun.